New this morning, 80 jobs from Caledonia are being transferred to China. Mike in Sports provides equipment for Major League Baseball. The owners are shutting it down. Before the pandemic, the company employed 120 workers in Caledonia. Now it employs just 80. Caledonia is a town of 2,000 southeast of Rochester. U.S. Senator Tina Smith this weekend wrote a letter to Major League Baseball in protest. And Senator Smith joins us now to talk about this and other issues. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks, Esme.
You have written a pretty terse letter to the head of Major League Baseball saying you get a lot of breaks. Why are you moving our jobs?
Well, exactly. I mean, Major League Baseball is the beneficiary of billions of dollars of taxpayer support. And yet here in Caledonia, Minnesota, a company that is partially owned by Major League Baseball and a private equity firm, the owner who also owns the San Diego Padres, is basically shutting down this company in Caledonia, the major employer in the community. To me, this goes exactly against what we should be expecting of America's favorite pastime, which is shipping the manufacture of baseball helmets and bats out of Minnesota.
Especially when they're the owners.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay.
That's exactly right.
All right. You have been doing a great deal this week with other senators and members of Congress on sprinklers in high-rise buildings. We obviously know about the tragedy that occurred a couple of years ago where 5 people died in Cedar Riverside. Tell us about what you're trying to do.
Well, that terrible tragedy at Cedar High Apartments really inspired us to look at what is happening with safety in publicly owned high-rises, and come to find that buildings that were built before 1992 aren't required to have sprinkler systems, and this leads to just a significant life and safety issue. So I've teamed up with Senator Klobuchar and others in order to help local communities expand sprinkler systems into these high-rise apartments. And think about who lives in these buildings. They are often our elders, people living with disabilities, and they deserve a safe and decent place to live.
All right. Anybody who follows you on social media has noted that in the past couple of weeks you've posted that you would like to see some family leave proposals pass. There are a couple of them floating out there, including expanding it for federal workers, but there's also another one coming from the president that would include all workers. Realistically, does this have any shot of passing? Well,
you have to be optimistic about getting this done. Think that the United States is the only industrialized country that doesn't have a national paid family and medical leave policy. And that affects who? It affects many private sector workers who are often women and people of color living and working in low-wage jobs who don't have the opportunity to stay home when they have a new child in their lives, or if they have other problems, other challenges helping to take care of a sick person in their family. We have to figure out a way of getting this done, and we're going to push as hard as we can this summer to do it.
Don't you think that COVID has really re-emphasized the fact that if you are sick, you should stay home, which a lot of people simply can't afford to do?
That is a great point. That's exactly what I think we've seen over the last 18 months. We need people who are ill to be able to stay home so that it doesn't have a negative impact on all the rest of us. I hope that as we come out of this terrible pandemic, that there are some lessons that we can learn in order to, as President Biden says, build back better.
All right. We're obviously in the middle of a drought. That was our lead here in this newscast. You are a member of the Senate Agriculture Committee. How concerned are you about the situation for farmers across Minnesota and really across the country?
Well, this is deeply concerning. I think almost 3/4 of Minnesota is in a severe drought circumstance right now. It affects all farmers differently, but cattle ranchers are in an extremely bad place right now because they literally can't find the hay to feed their herds. We're seeing producers that are selling off their herds, which is a terrible thing. It takes years to build these herds. So I'm teaming up with Senator John Thune from North Dakota to work with the USDA and Secretary Vilsack to help expand access to conservation reserve land in an emergency like this to help them.
And you've also written about the role of climate change because we are seeing extreme weather all over the world world right now.
That's exactly right. And you don't have to tell Minnesota farmers or small town mayors that climate change is real when they are dealing with the impacts of it right now. This is not some existential threat that's going to affect us in the future. It's affecting us right now. And that's why I'm working so hard to include in the legislation we're passing this summer, I hope, a clean electricity standard, which would clean up our power grid and make that 100% net zero carbon emissions as soon as possible.
All right, want to ask you real quickly, Line 3, a lot of protests about that. You have sort of been in the middle here. Can you be in the middle really, or isn't this really a yes or no issue? You're either for it or you're against it.
Well, you know, I am focused on reducing the demand for oil and fossil fuels, and I'm focused on building us towards a transition to a clean energy future. Right now, Line 3 is in the courts, and that's where it will be resolved. I do have to say, though, that the individuals that are making their voices heard and protesting Line 3, it's very important that they are respected and have an opportunity to exercise their free speech rights.
All right. Well, Senator Tina Smith, thank you so much. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks, Esme.